Journey through the ages of Elarandor, from myth and ruin to recovery and rule. This timeline reveals the epic foundation behind Keeper of the Deer, tracing wars, wonders, and the rise of a new generation. Welcome to the world behind the story. The world stirs for the first time. Magic breathes through the earth, wild and untamed, flowing like mist through the roots of mountains and rivers. Ancient races rise, elves, dwarves, fae and dragons, unbound by borders, living in harmony with the land. Forests speak with wind voices, stones remember the songs of stars, and rivers carry whispers of power. Great beasts roam, unchallenged and sacred. There are no kingdoms, no cities, only scattered peoples who follow the old songs, guided by spirit and instinct. It is an age of wonder, untouched by conquest or time, where every hill and tree is alive with meaning. Human dynasties rise from the wilds, carving vast realms across the land. These are the Bloodlords, warlords and visionaries who bind city to city beneath banners of gold and crimson. Nature is abundant. Rivers run clear, forests stretch untouched, and the soil yields freely. Magic is rare and sacred, used only in rituals and solemn oaths. Elves, dwarves, and fae live alongside humankind, not as allies, but in wary coexistence. Towering cities and stone monuments rise, echoing ambition and pride. In this age of power and promise, humanity thrives, but already the seeds of their ruin take root. The Bloodlords turned on one another, their grand alliances shattered by greed and betrayal. Civil war swept the land, and the great cities of men were engulfed in fire and ruin. Magic, once sacred, became a weapon of terror. Blades enchanted to kill, wizards hurling death across broken fields. The elder races tried to resist, but they too suffered losses, crafting enchanted arms in desperation. Empires crumbled into isolated enclaves, their borders lost to memory. A man kneels in the ash, begging for mercy, but none is given. So much was lost. Bloodlines, history, art, forgotten in the smoke of a world undone. After the chaos of the bloodletting, the land began to heal. Forests reclaimed the edges of broken cities, and rivers ran clean once more. Scattered human settlements rose from the ashes, small and cautious, nestled within fortified glens and open valleys. Trade routes reformed slowly, winding between enclaves, but no great kingdoms emerged. In quiet corners of the world, early libraries and scriptoria took root, preserving what fragments of knowledge remained. Magic, once wild and widespread, grew rare, feared by many and respected by the few. The elder races, though distant, did not vanish. They withdrew to hidden realms, yet watched still, connected to the greater world through ancient rites and wandering emissaries. This was an age of rebuilding, where survival and remembrance walked hand in hand. The mages rose not from bloodlines or noble houses, but from raw, unshaped power. They drew magic from the land, the heavens, the negative planes, and from themselves. Mage gates opened between strongholds and secret locations. Librams were crafted, binding arcane secrets to ink and skin. Cities warped beneath the weight of their spells, time itself bent in service to their will. Devoted followers knelt in worship, while the disobedient were cast down without mercy. Their knowledge expanded at a staggering pace. Their evolution accelerated, faster than nature, faster than the gods, faster than the world could endure. The mages became unstoppable, and in the end, only one force proved mighty enough to defeat them: themselves. The Sundering marked the end of an age, and nearly the end of the world. The mages and hexenfolds, witches and warlocks turned against the elves, razing ancient forests and casting down their cities with fire and curse. What remained of elven civilization was but a fraction of its former grace, its sacred groves scorched, its knowledge lost to ash and ruin. Meanwhile, the mages, blinded by ambition, turned upon each other. Brother clashed with brother, and the greatest among them, Durgan Yehol and Mikal Yehol, waged a brutal war of pride and power. They unleashed the darkest secrets of the Librams, rending the earth and skies with forbidden magic. Mage strongholds crumbled, survivors scattered, and the world, once whole, was shattered. The world had burned, and now it lay quiet. In scattered glades and sheltered valleys, small human enclaves clung to survival, building stone walls and whispered alliances. Magic, once unbound, became sacred and secret. Its study guarded by druids, its knowledge sealed in enchanted tomes. The elves vanished into their ruined groves. The dwarves withdrew beneath the mountains. The Fae stepped sideways into realms beyond reach. None had forgotten the mages, nor the sundering they wrought. This was an age of wary peace, of silence rather than healing, an age where survival depended not on power, but on secrecy. The scars of past cataclysms slowly began to fade. Humanity, ever resilient, gathered into duchies and city-states, forging alliances that brought stability to the fractured lands. Trade caravans crossed the wilds once more, and towns swelled into bustling cities. Libraries were founded in stone keeps and quiet towers, where knowledge, both sacred and arcane, was preserved with reverence. The Ornst library, greatest among them, was conceived during this age, a beacon for scholars and sages alike. Yet even as civilization advanced, the elder races withdrew. The elves vanished into deep forests and forgotten glens. The dwarves sealed their mountain halls. The Fae left only whispers. Their secrets endured, but their presence faded into myth. This was an age of growth, but also of quiet loss, of old powers receding as human dominion rose. The western lands, long fractured by war and haunted by ancient ruin, were at last brought under one banner. Orlath of House Haddensack, bearing the sword Falconclaw, accepted the surrender of rival lords upon a windswept field of green. His rule did not begin with conquest, but with unity, duchies bound by law, cities folded into the kingdom's embrace. The Ornst library, once a bastion of secrets, opened its doors to scholars and seekers alike. Trade roads grew safe again. Temples were rebuilt. Life, after centuries of fear, began to flourish. Yet, beneath the peace, remnants of the past stirred. Silent ruins, forgotten magics, and whispers in shadow, waiting. That brings us to today, RH Form 10, the 410th year of the Reign of Haddensack. In the west, civilization and trade flourish, protected by the stairwell and their allies. Lescaret and the Black Storm rule the criminal underworld, while druids tend to the forests and glens. The wizards of Arcana seek enlightenment from their distant towers. To the east, the vast lands once ruled by the elves have grown wild, surrendered back to nature. The southern reaches are nearly empty, the ancient empire lost to time. And so our journey begins in Ornst with a small boy, Radcliffe, who shoves a muffin in his brother's face. The Servant, Keeper of the Deer, Book 1.